Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first women's soccer broadcast here on WHIP Sports of the 2025 season. Today we have the visiting Rice Owls going against the home Temple Owls. Rice comes into this matchup at a 7-1-1 record, and Temple comes in at a 3-8 record. This is both teams' third game in the conference. Rice so far 1-0-1, had a stellar tie against UAB. That final score was 3-3, and Temple 0-2 in the American Conference so far. The last time these two teams faced was last year on October 3rd. Rice beat Temple last year 4-0. Temple's head coach this year is Chris Shaw. It's his second year as women's soccer head coach. The decorated 15-year head coach was named head coach in January of 2024, and he's the winningest coach in UNLV history, where he was before Temple. And on the other side, you have head coach Brian Lee. Brian Lee was named the Rice Owls head coach the March 19th of 2019, and prior to joining Rice, he coached at LSU, and he had 4 SEC titles, 143 wins in 14 seasons, and at his time at the Owls, he has led the Owls to 4 10-win seasons plus a trip to the Sweet 16. And you know, Jake, they got a lot to worry about. Temple, at least, has a lot to worry about when it comes to the Owls.
Yeah, and before I even get off to my spiel, we have about 5 minutes before the opening tip-off. Dan, this is your first time on a WHIP broadcast. Introduce yourself, man. Who are you? Who am I? I want to hear who's calling this game for WHIP Sports Radio.
My mistake. Got a little ahead of myself. I'm Daniel Leakin, also known as Big Dan. I'm joined by Jake Holzhauer and Troy Arslan. There you go,
in
the producer spot. My apologies. I got a little ahead of myself.
Of course.
Back
I mean,
to you,
hey,
Jake.
First game jitters. It's whatever. It's women's soccer. We're going to have a fun time here. The women's soccer team does not have the best record coming in, but hey, they're 0-2 in the conference. They're looking to try to get their first win in the conference against Rice, and what a way to do it against a powerhouse like the Rice Owls. It is the Battle of the Owls here in Philadelphia, the Temple Sports Complex, and man, this should be shaping up to be a great game against a powerhouse and a team that is looking to get their first win in the conference column. So we're going to try to have a great day, a great night here, because it's a little bit late for a soccer game, but hey, we're on prime time, baby. So let's have some fun. Dan, what do we need to look out for?
So, I mean, the Owls became into...
Which one? Rice, Temple?
Rice. The Rice Owls came into this game yesterday. They were ranked number 25. The coaches poll came out this morning. They got taken out of that ranking, so the Rice Owls looking to put themselves back into the equation in the coaches ranking. But man, the name to look out for, we mentioned it on our pregame show, Leah Chansey. 8 goals, 7 assists, 23 points this year, has played all 9 games, started in all 9 of them as well. She was a top 100 athlete in women's soccer last year. She was ranked 99, and then coming into this year, she got bumped up in the preseason rankings to number 67 in the 2000.
Wow.
And she was the 2025 American Offensive Player of the Week 2 times already, the week of September 1st and the week of September 8th. So the Temple defensive line really has a big name on their hands.
Yeah, and looking over on Temple's side, this team doesn't have a top goal scorer, really. They only lead by 1 goal, and that's 3-2 with a bunch of names on that list. You're looking at Ariana Gronauer, I believe is how you say her name. She leads this Temple team in goals, and then you have a plethora of players next to her. You have names like Valentina Bitterwolf, Shari Atkins, Eva Masic, and the list goes on. So when you're looking over on Temple's side, you're just looking for an all-around balanced attack, a balanced game, and you got to hope that they can at least sneak by 1 or 2 goals past the great goalkeeper of the Rice Owls, and you got to hope that they're able to hold on, because Temple's problem isn't their goalkeeping. Their goalkeeping is actually very good this season. It's just their offense that slightly lacks behind the rest of the conference, and even their defense isn't the brightest. So what you need to do if you're the Temple Owls, not the Rice Owls, the Temple Owls, what you need to do is just hopefully outscore your opponent by 1 or 2 goals and then take a step back and play defense for the rest of the game. As soon as Temple gets a lead, I want to see them get straight on defense and not let up a single goal for the rest of the game. Do you think that's possible, Big Dan?
I mean, it could be possible, but the biggest task is going to be getting past, as you mentioned, that great goalkeeper on the Rice side, Kirsten Ruff. 9 games played, 9 games started, 37 saves, only 10 goals allowed, has a 7-1-1 record. She had a shutout against Lamar University on the 7th of September and faced 18 shots in that tie against UAB and stopped 15 of them. So she's a brick wall in that net. And on the Temple side of things, it's going to be Taylor Vicchioni, who you were very excited to hear gets the start this evening. She has 3 games played, 3 games started. She had 18 last year and 18 games started. She has 10 saves so far, 3 goals allowed, which is a 1.5 goals allowed average. Her record is 1-1 this year. She had a season high 5 saves against USF on the 11th of September and faced 15 shots against Tulsa. So it's going to be a goaltender matchup.
Most likely, and the reason I like Vecchioni so much, one, she hasn't played a lot this year. We don't know what's going on with that. Maybe there's an injury she's nursing. Maybe they're going to give some other players some opportunities. Either could be possible. But Vecchione, the reason she's so good at her job, the reason she's one of the top goalkeepers in the American Conference is because of one reason, and that's because of how many shots the defense lets up. And she saves a majority of them. But unfortunately, Dan, she can't save them all. You can't save every goal when you are taking 10, She's trying to stop 10 shots a game?
Yeah, she faced those 15 shots against Tulsa.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So if your defense can hold them to maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 shot range, then you have a very good chance that you can hopefully hold Rice's offense, and then attack on Rice's defense.
So we're just about getting ready here. Both teams in the pregame huddle. Temple definitely looking for their first, obviously looking for their first win in the American Conference. I mean, a 3-8 start this season has beaten some of the weaker opponents they've run into. Beat Iona, they beat Lincoln. Their last game was against Lincoln, where they won 6-0. And Rice has definitely been just a powerhouse this year. As I mentioned, 7-1-1. They tied with UAB in their last game, a 3-3 tie. And both teams just looking to get back on the right track, especially as Temple is rounding that corner into the start of a lot of conference play, and Rice doing the same.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you hear some wind in the background, that's going to happen. We're in the windy city of Philadelphia, so there might be some wind on the broadcast. We can't help it, but we're just going to try to call this game to the best of our abilities, Dan.
So we're getting ready for the opening whistle. Temple will start with possession. And we're off here for the Owls. This one's kicked back and dumped straight into the Rice zone.
I don't like that. Why did Temple just immediately give the ball up?
It looks like
they won the kickoff. Or
yeah.
they started with the kickoff. Why not? Why just give it up?
Maybe looking for a deep shot, but nothing was available, as Ruff is going to pass this one out in their own side, and the Owls for Rice now taking it up with a field.
And it's weird because now Rice basically gets the first possession of the game because you can't even call that a possession for Temple.
No. Rusher kicks this one deep just around midfield. The Owls taking it back, playing it in their own defensive zone.
Good defense.
This one collected at around midfield. This one kicked back to Wilpot. Wilpot looks for Abiyoun as she kicks this one up to Atkins.
Whoa, Wilpot playing with some face maskage. Looking like Joel Embiid.
This one over towards our side of the field, the left side. And it looks like this one's going to dribble back to Ruff on the Rice side of the field.
Yeah, and Dan, soccer is a very hard sport to call because it's very back and forth, right? So last year, I did a call with Patty Heckard. Patty Heckard, one of the great voices of WHIP radio, he called the middle zone the chaos zone. Because the chaos zone, there's a lot of back and forth in the middle of the field. So if we ever mix up a call, that's because most likely it was in the chaos zone. So the chaos zone is around midfield, and then you have Temple's side of the field and then Rice's side of the field. The chaos zone is not where you want to be when you're watching good soccer.
Yeah. So a bit of back and forth on the benches side of the field. It's in Temple's zone.
Yeah, and we're sitting here on the crowd side of the 50 marker here at the Temple Sports Complex. So whenever we mention the player side, that's just the opposite field of us. So we just got to make sure that everyone listening at home knows where the ball is as best to our abilities.
This one kicked out of the box by the Temple Owls. Retrieved now by Rice. Trying to push it past Tennyson, and now Temple has possession.
There's a lot of media today here, Dan, which for Temple soccer, there usually isn't a lot. So I'm glad that a lot of media has showed out and wants to support and show off this team.
And for sure, and they're going against quite the opponent as well. As we mentioned, Rice definitely has the record and statistics to back up their dominance so far.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're definitely a powerhouse in the ACC. Or in the American, excuse me.
Yes. And we also met Rice's SID, which he was very nice. He actually takes photos for the Rice team. So he was a very nice guy. He helped us with all of the questions we had, which is just amazing. If we had any questions, which we didn't have many, we felt like we were quite prepared for this game. But we did have a couple questions, and he was there. He came up to us, which was nice. We should have came up to him. But he actually came up to us, and he introduced himself, and he helped us with everything we needed. So thank you so much to the Rice SID.
So Vecchione, the goaltender for the Temple Owls, kicking this one off. Battered around in the chaos zone for a little bit by both teams, and now Rice takes possession, moving into the Temple side.
She lost
Rice
the ball.
cuts back, and now Temple trying to turn the tide the other way. Still in that chaos zone as they kick it over to Atkins. And Atkins now turning the field, trying to get over to the Owls, the Rice side.
It's going to be hard saying
it
Owls
is tough.
this
It's
game.
tough.
Yeah, we just got to default to Rice and Temple.
Default to Rice and Temple. So now Rice moving towards midfield. They just passed the 50. This one's given up to Tennyson.
Somebody in the crowd wanted an offsides call. Didn't see it.
Tennyson tries to kick this one so Rice can get it. Now Temple plays with it in their defensive zone.
What's funny about being a broadcaster in the stands, Dan, is the stands can hear us.
Yeah.
So I remember last year with Troy, I was like kind of trashing one of the fans for the other team, and they were mad. But they can't do anything. We're on air.
I mean, they could do something. I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, true. But it was fun because Temple was winning that game, I think. They could have been losing. They were not that good that last year. They weren't.
They were 2-18 last year.
Yeah, so they definitely were not winning that game.
So just about 4 minutes down here in quarter number 1. No score yet as Rice kicks this one away. This is headed in the Temple defensive zone, and it dribbles out of bounds onto the Temple bench.
Smart play by Rice right there because they avoided the ball, and it was out on Temple at that point.
Temple now going back and forth in their defensive end. They kick it back into the defensive line. This one skied towards midfield. Well played there by number 20, Carson Martz.
This is what you want to see if you're Temple. They're playing pretty good defense right now, but they might get tired out pretty early as someone's ankles just got broken.
Abby Aoun. What a play as she just juked out one of the defenders for the Rice soccer team, Olivia Duval.
Watch that one on the highlight reel tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So this one played in the Rice side, taking it slow because after no offense came from that nifty move there.
Unfortunate. It would have been a nice goal afterwards.
Rice gives a little give and go as this one's hit over to Tennyson. Tennyson on the near side, tries to push it past Atkins. Well deflected.
Shari Atkins last year, it's weird because Shari Atkins, she's an offensive player, but she's known for her defense. So it's very weird that an offensive player would be known for their defense, but it's always nice to have those offensive/defensive players just in your pocket.
She was the team lead last year in goals, assists, and points. So
Crazy.
Atkins was really the vocal point of this Temple team last year, really the heart and soul. Comes into this year, her junior year with 2 goals, 3 assists, 7 points, and a career high 23 shots in 2024.
And thankfully she didn't transfer because usually when you have a good team or a good season with Temple, you might just transfer to a bigger school. So thankfully she didn't, and hopefully they can build off of her staying.
Yeah, her and the freshman Valentina Bitterwolf from Germany
Crazy.
with the 8 points, definitely a nice dynamic duo to watch throughout
Also,
this game.
What a name, Bitterwolf.
I know, right?
Wow, that's like what I would name my character in like Park for 2K.
This one kicked off by Jaden Jager in her own territory. This one now played on the Temple side. This one deflected back. Rice trying to advance up. Jager gets it back. Kicks this one to the near side. Over for Duval. Duval gets possession, tries to kick it past Aoun. Duval gets past, crosses this one into the middle. The header, nice save there by Taylor Vecchione.
That's why Vecchione does what she does. She's called one of the best goalkeepers in the American because of plays like that. There was no chance that wouldn't have been a goal if she wasn't in the right position, and she was in the right position, and she made a great diving stop.
Vecchione diving to her right off the header. What a play for the graduate goalkeeper. And this game stays tied.
I mean, Vecchione, again, she's up with the best of them in the American because of how many shots that Temple has given up. And so far, it hasn't been a lot. We only have 1 shot on the board right now. But if that number starts going up, their goals might also start going up. So you got to see what Vecchione can do and what kind of offense Temple will give her.
So now it's a free kick here for the Temple Owls. Taking around the 35. This one booted into Rice territory.
Nice.
Hits off the back of a Rice player. This shot taken by Atkins goes wide.
And
It'll be a goal kick here for Rice.
I don't really know if Atkins is yet the leader on this team. I would imagine she is because of her status from last year. But when you're taking a shot right off the rip like that, it wasn't a good-looking shot, and they didn't even count it as a shot on the scoreboard. But you could probably say it was either a shot or a pass to someone that wasn't there.
So this one dumped into Temple territory. Missed kick there from Albers. But Rice regains possession. And Rice kicks this one back into their defensive end, trying to generate some offense. They've had the majority of the possession time so far and has kept it in Temple's zone pretty well. This one taken in, looking towards the box, dribbled in the air.
Crazy for Aoun to do headers while she has a mask.
Yeah.
Because that means most likely she's protecting some sort of facial or head injury, and she's still using it to her advantage.
Yeah, Aoun has done a great job so far on the defensive side, even with the mask.
Unfortunately, it's because she's had so many opportunities on defense. We want to see Temple be on the offense a lot more.
So Vecchione boots this one away. This one gets to around midfield. Possession taken by the Owls as Aoun sends this one forward.
Bad first touches.
And now Rice regains possession, trying to attack Temple. Good defensive play, but Rice just playing with it on their defensive side. Pressure applied by Matisic, who is from... Matisic's actually a local prodigy here. She's from Medford, New Jersey, which is just about 25 minutes outside of Temple.
Nice.
She went to Shawnee High School. Little fun fact, I actually broadcasted one of her games when she was in high school.
Awesome.
And
so
she played against my school.
So you remember her name. That's
I do.
awesome. That's crazy. I wonder if will she remember you?
Probably not. Not a lot of people remember the broadcaster.
Nobody remembers the broadcaster. But that's why we do it.
Exactly. So now a free kick here for the Temple Owls, taken just around 35 yards away, I would say, from the goal. This one's going to be kicked away by Riley Wilpot.
If they had the yard markers, that's a pretty good guess.
I would say just around. I'm basing it off of where the logos are.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. They don't have yard markers for soccer, so
yeah, I would say if that's the 50. Then,
yeah, that's a pretty good guess.
Whistle blows, arm raises. Wilpot dumping this one in.
No.
And that one just goes wide. Maybe looking for someone on that back post, but that one dribbles out of bounds. And now a free kick here for the keeper, Kristen Ruff.
So what I noticed from Temple last season, of course you weren't here, Dan, last season. What I noticed from them last season was their possession time was never high. They always took quick shots, which is a strategy. I don't think it's a very good one because to win games, you're going to have to hold on to the ball. That's why a bunch of teams professionally hold on to the ball and want the ball longer. For this Temple team, even men's and women's, they're both a lot of quick shots, one shot, maybe no pass, and we're seeing that so far from Temple, and I feel like that's a reason that they're 0-2 in the conference so far.
So Ruff is going to take this kick from the right side of the goalpost. Whistle blows, and she's just going to kick this one to her defensive line as they're going to slowly maneuver their way up as they've done a couple times so far. This one kicked to the far side. Rice looking to attack. Good defense by the Temple Owls. As this one's deflected out, Rice maintains possession. Throw in here from Rice. Headed by a Temple defender.
Good play.
Nice maneuver, but Rice intercepts. And now Tennyson trying to move this one up for the Owls. Her pass just a bit offline, trying to advance Olivia Duval. And that'll be another goal kick for the Owls as Taylor Vecchione is going to take this from the left side.
I like the attack there from Rice. Unfortunately, Temple, once again, just letting Rice have possession for a long amount of time. And Rice tried to draw up a play. It didn't really work. They kicked it out of bounds ahead of their top runner who was on offense, and unfortunately, just nothing happened from it.
This one headed by an Owl. Temple retains possession.
I feel like every ball would be head by an Owl. What do you say?
It's
fine.
Caught me. Temple now moving with possession. Trying to advance up to Atkins, but intercepted by the Rice defense.
They tried to meg her, and it didn't work.
Rice now moving this one to the far side. Looking to advance up. Intercepted by the Temple defense. Trying to find the freshman Matisic, but it was also intercepted by Rice.
A lot of interceptions
Yeah,
so
a little
far.
back and forth so far between these two teams.
We're in the chaos zone. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a really good terminology.
Atkins trying to strip away from Tennyson. Tennyson moves up. Tipped by Atkins. One of the captains for Temple, Riley Wilpot, had possession. Abi Aoun takes it away, gives it up to Atkins. Atkins on the close side, back to Aoun.
Do you think that mask affects either her vision or potentially like any sort of like movement?
I would assume the vision. So for the people watching on the radio or the people listening, it looks like the LeBron mask for when he was on the Heat. It's kind of...
It's black.
Yeah, it's covering... It's pretty much identical to
I wonder
the
if it's
LeBron
like
mask.
sunglasses. Like, I don't know if there's clearness at all.
I think there's a little clearness. There's
There
holes.
has to be,
There's
right?
holes.
Yeah. She has to be able to breathe, and also you have to be able to, I think, see your eyes.
Yeah. So now the Owls moving up, trying to advance Atkins, but that one just a little wide, and now it'll be a throw in here for the Owls. Tennyson will throw it in on the near side.
Yeah, it seemed like Atkins just wasn't ready for the ball. It was just out of her reach, and if she was in better positioning, she probably would have just gotten to it, and then there would have been a counterattack for Temple.
That was passed by Bitterwolf, who's one of the or excuse me, it was not Bitterwolf. It was Tegan Harkins who tried to pass it to Atkins, couldn't get it to her.
In the chaos zone once more.
Pressure applied by Bitterwolf to the Rice defender who moves her way around her, trying to start this offensive attack here for Rice. Intercepted once again by this Temple defense. Temple defense doing a good job of playing conservative right now, not letting up too many big opportunities for Rice other than the one where Vecchione made a huge save.
They're playing very conservative. I like it, but also their offense has done nothing so far, and that might have just been the story for the whole season.
Well, sometimes the conservative play is good, where you don't want to give up too many big opportunities, just like the one Rice almost just had, but Vecchione comes out and makes the scoop.
This is true, but if they're 3-8, they got to fix something.
Yeah.
I mean, 0-2 in conference play, the season's not over by any means because it's all about conference record, and if they could bite off one of the big dogs and just completely, I wouldn't say destroy them because I don't think you can get destroyed if you're Rice here, but if you win against a powerhouse of a school in the conference, I think it's a very good setup for the future of this team.
Well, the future of this team is definitely, it's bright. I mean, you do get a lot of good international players that come in. You get a lot of girls from all over the world, some from Nevada, some from Denmark, some from Germany. And Chris Shaw has done a good job so far with this squad, just trying to better them and trying to get the recruits they need to try and push them further and further.
For sure, but the record's going to have to start piling up because if you're Temple, you're with the American, you're a smaller school when it comes to countrywide soccer. If your best player has a good year and you don't, they're just going to transfer. So unfortunately, that's just the landscape of college sports in general now. If you're on a smaller team like Temple for soccer and you have a good season and your team doesn't, you're going to transfer and go to a better team.
And I think, unfortunately, it's a good thing sometimes where you get the best entertainment, but that's the landscape of all college sports at the current moment, not just women's soccer.
And luckily a girl for women's soccer like Taylor Vecchione, she stayed here for a while. She's been here last year. She's been here for multiple years.
Yeah.
And then same thing with her backup, Bino, who has looked like the starter this season. So it's very interesting to see. Like Shari Atkins was here last year. A lot of the core players stayed, which is what you want for college teams now.
So after a throw-in by the Temple Owls, a little pinball action, and the ball goes off of Bitterwolf. So it'll be a throw-in here for Rice. Just about 15 minutes into half number one, a 0-0 score, a clutch save by Vecchione to keep this one at a tie as Vecchione comes out of her crease to play this one. This one taken away, whistle blows. It looks like offside was called.
Offsides will kill you. I think most of the time, this isn't all of the time, but most of the time, whichever team leads in offsides is losing the game. Because it's just one of those crucial penalties that you just can't have over and over again if you're going to win games.
And offsides in soccer is one of the more intricate and beautiful type of rules, but it's also so, as you mentioned, detrimental.
And it's also very technical as well.
Exactly.
Where it's like, technically, there's an offsides almost every play, but it's also to the ref's discretion. And if the ref does their job correctly, they're going to call offsides. Not a lot, but it might happen more often than not.
So Temple slowly progressing down the field with throw-ins here. Atkins trying to cross this one into the middle, intercepted by Rice defense, and they send this one out once again, so it'll be another Temple throw-in. This one being tossed in here by Brianna Parker. Finds Atkins. Atkins trying to maneuver her way around the defense. Generates another throw-in. So Temple going closer and closer right outside the box here.
As you may have heard from the crowd, that was pretty lucky from Temple. They got lucky where they brought it in, and then once again, it keeps going in and then out, but it's out on Rice, which is letting Temple slowly move their entire team up towards the attack.
Bitterwolf trying to set something up. Rice finally clears after a little bit of back and forth of trying to get the ball and then continuously hitting it out. Temple trying to push for some offense, but now Rice takes it away, and they're moving up the field. Cuts back.
Did I just announce or jinx that?
You did.
Chris? Or Dan? I don't know why I called you Chris.
Don't worry. I didn't even introduce you to start, so
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm allowed one.
Nice takeaway there by Abiaun over on the near side. Pulling some nice maneuvers here against Olivia Duval.
I like how physical she's playing with the mask, which shows me and tells me that she's not afraid of potentially re-injuring herself, which could be bad for the team, but also good for her self-esteem and good for her confidence.
Yeah, Abiaun matched up against Duval, the transfer from Wake Forest.
She would probably have a fire goal scoring sound as well. Do you know what I'm referring to?
No.
Duval.
Ah.
So when she scores, you got to do that. If she scores.
If she scores, yes.
Yeah,
We'll say
because on the season she has, let's see how many goals.
Duval right now has no stats
No goals.
registered. She has played 9 games and started in all 9, just no
Oof.
goals registered. So the transfer from Wake Forest is getting the time, just looking for the results.
So more likely than not, she's not scoring this game.
Well, a few of the Rice girls registered their first collegiate career goals against Temple last year in the 4-0 win.
So, hey, if history repeats itself, Duval might get a goal.
So this one dumped deep, cleared away by the Temple Owls. Atkins now has it, working against Tennyson. Atkins kicks it back into the defensive line, where it's Riley Wilpott, and the whistle blows and a foul called against Temple.
Just a little too physical there, and unfortunately when it comes to soccer, you can't be too physical, and Riley Wilpott on the penalty there.
So 27 minutes to play here in half number 1. Again, a 0-0 score so far here at the Temple Sports Complex. A 7 p.m. start. Rice against Temple.
I don't know about you, Big Dan, but I think Temple has played pretty well so far.
Yeah, they've had they've played conservative, as we mentioned time and time again. As here's a free kick from Rice. This one looking for the back corner, and this one tipped off of a Rice head and goes out of bounds for a Vecchione goal kick.
I'm pounding my fist after that one because I hope I didn't announcer jinx it again, and thankfully I didn't.
Yes.
So announcer jinx is a real thing, and if it happens, you feel bad.
No, it's happened, I promise. many, 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 many times.
Yeah, so if it happens today, I am very sorry, but I need to put in my 2 cents. That's my job.
Yeah. The worst is basketball.
Oh,
And that
for sure.
It happens all the time during
Yeah,
basketball. You
well-
say a player's hot and then they airball. And
Yeah,
it's like,
but basketball is constantly shot after shot. Soccer's a little bit slower
Yeah.
when shots, not for turnovers. Turnovers happen every 2 seconds.
and one happened on the far side. Atkins kicked it out of bounds. So now a throw in here for Rice.
Good transition.
Thank you.
I could tell you've done this before.
Yeah, I mean, I completely fluffed my opening, but it's okay.
It's whatever. It's your first call. You'll hear Big Dan a lot more on WHIP radio for sure.
Yay.
And hopefully me.
Yeah, hopefully.
Where are we at on the field now?
So just around midfield, the throw in here for Rice. This one kicked towards midfield. Rice regains possession. And now Matisic's going to take this one for the Temple Owls. Rice player down, gets up just around midfield.
It looks like she was trying to sell a call. Didn't
Matisic
happen.
kicks this one up towards
Aoun.
Abi Aoun. Aoun moves up.
Double team.
Nice play by Rice to double team. This one, a kick looking for the back corner, just goes over the net
Great shot.
from Tegan Harkins. Harkins was looking for her first of the season, just goes over the crossbar.
Yeah, great shot decision from Harkins. Shout out to Aoun for having a great recover on that possession. She got double teamed. She lost the ball, regained it, passed it over, and it was a good shot. Unfortunately, just slightly above the net.
So now Rice taking it up the field. Not a lot of pressure here from Temple. Atkins the first to pressure. This one gets dumped deep. Rice now in Temple territory. Temple looking to reclaim in the back line. They were just looking to let it go, but this one kicked out by the Owls. And that'll be a Rice throw-in after the clear.
It's weird because Temple looked to call for an offsides call. They put their hand up, which usually means they're trying to show the ref that someone's offsides. And then they instead defended the ball because I think they realized there wasn't an offside. So a little bit of an unfortunate mishap.
This one tossed, bobbled around a little bit in the Temple box. This one quickly cleared away towards the Rice back line. Played just at midfield. Tennyson now has it. Over on the right side, well played by Matisic. And they say it's Temple ball, so it'll be a throw in here for Temple.
The ref had to make a decision there. I think he made the right one. I think Temple was the last one to touch it. And so far, it's been a pretty back and forth even game. If you look at the box score, I think you would say it's pretty 50-50 right now.
Yeah, I think Temple's doing a great job of holding their own here against Rice, playing a very conservative game. Still trying to look to generate some offense, but Temple will take what they get right now as they are quickly moving up the field as they just straight past midfield.
This is what you have to do if you're facing a powerhouse school. You got to slow the game down. It's like in any sport. You face a really good team, just slow it down, make sure that you're doing all the little things right, and if you're doing your job correctly, then the goals and potentially the win should follow. So hopefully Temple continues to do their job correctly.
Temple looked like they had some momentum starting up the field, and then Harkins, a pass that went offline, results in a throw in here for Rice. Still in Rice territory, that Atkins is going to kick it out. This one hit over the defender by Bitterwolf, but dribbles right to Rice again, and now Rice turning the field and going the other way.
Unfortunately, that's just been the story of Temple this season specifically. They look like they have good counterattacks, and then it's one usually bad mishap, and then they're back on defense.
This ball was kicked deep into Temple territory and scooped up quickly by Vecchioni.
Very good goalkeeper.
She's done a great job so far.
One save.
She punts this one away.
One shot, one save. That's all you really could ask for right now. Hopefully more saves to come, but hopefully no more shots. We'll see.
Yeah, and in about 22 minutes of first half play to go, we still sit at this 0-0 stand.
Yeah, I called the game last season. I forget which game. It was 0-0 until the very last minute, and I think it ended in a 0-0 tie potentially. Those games aren't fun. Defensively, yes, but when the defense plays bad and both offenses are just not good, it is not fun to call. Or listen or watch to, really.
Yeah, it happens.
It does happen, and that's the beauty of soccer. You never know what you're going to get.
Atkins twirls her way around 3 defenders, trying to send this one into Rice territory. And they're doing a good job of working the midfield right now, trying to get some momentum. It's just once they get past the Rice midfielders into that defensive line, they're having a tough time trying to push past that line that they have back there.
It seems like they're doing very slow, methodical plays, and it's working somewhat, but when it doesn't work, it gets blown up very quickly.
Matisik moving this one back to Wilpot. This one deflected off of a Rice player, so Wilpot will toss it in here for the Owls.
It looks like because the ref is somewhat down the field, Temple could get a little bit more inches and feet off of that throw-in, which they take to their advantage.
Excuse me, Abiaoun was the one to throw it in. Atkins now looking maybe to take a shot, maybe looking for a pass, but it goes wide, way right. And now it'll be a goal kick here for Ruff.
If I remember correctly, last season, Shari Atkins, yes, she was a great player. Yes, she led the team in goals. She also was a product of Hero Ball, where she would try to take the game into her own hands. When you're one of the best players in the country, one of the best players in the conference, you're allowed to play Hero Ball, but if you do it too often or do it too early, like what might have happened there, she looked across it and just put too much mustard on it, and unfortunately, it went out of bounds, and now it's Rice's ball.
So in just about reaching half of the first half, about 20 minutes left to play here, Temple and Rice, still a 0-0 game. Rice just did their first substitutions of the game, adding 3 new players into the lineup.
And of course, with college soccer, you can bring in as many people and take out as many people as you want, unlike professional soccer.
Wilpot was looking for a cross, looking for the back post, but it went out of bounds. And there'll be another kick here for Ruff.
And an update in Philadelphia. I'm feeling some raindrops, so there might be some rain on the way.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like if there's any lightning in the area, they will suspend this game and delay it. So there is a small chance, if there's a thunderstorm, that we might have to go into delay. And it looks like there might be a delay ahead.
So we keep going here as Temple throws this one in here on their side of the field. This one looking for Atkins. So unfortunately, we are going to have to take down here because of the thunderstorm. So if you guys are listening in, we will have to delay our broadcast here. So we're going to take it down here and hopefully find some cover for our equipment.
Yeah, we're going to try to resume as quick as possible. The game hasn't been delayed yet, but unfortunately we have to take cover for ourselves first so we can protect the equipment and hopefully come back later. So we are going to have to end the broadcast slightly early in a delay, and hopefully when we're back, it isn't pouring.
Yeah, so please stay tuned. About 18 minutes and 45 seconds left to play here in half number 1. We'll be right back, hopefully, after the short break.
let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so unfortunately we are going to have to wrap up here on WHIP Sports. You can keep up with everything WHIP on WHIP Radio on all socials and WHIP Sports on all socials for some of the more sports-specific stuff. But we're going to have to wrap up here on the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to this girls soccer broadcast. We unfortunately have to suspend due to weather.